from as a warlock tiefling individual hailing from the land of simpletons. I became bored with my homeland after impregnating all of the impregnable, and decided to pledge my loyalty to the overlord of a faraway land and set off to do his evil bidding. And not really evil though, the overlord himself asked me to do a lot of very evil things. At least that's what the voices tell me. Along the way, I learned that I was more of a lover and not a fighter. So I lied to these two assholes about the pleasures that await them at the Overlord's chat room. They are dum-dums and fell for it.
Hello.
And now act as my personal bodyguards. Basically, in short, I convince everyone with intimidation and my great charisma, but I'm very broken and weak physically on the inside.
Just turning on my chat here, just a moment.
I'm hearing some voices from Overlord right now. I believe we're at 3,162 subscribers. In the chat, I told you the chat room was real. And if the chat room could respond with the keyword Snugglelord, I heard from one of Overlord's minions that the
Okay. So, I decided to add chat to my screen. What that'll do is just allow you to see timing between my response and your questions. Because I've had questions, and sometimes I know that the response time seems slow. It's not that it's slow. I see your chat immediately. I respond, but it's the encoding and the return of my video that has my response to it that comes through anywhere from a minute to several minutes long, depending on how long I've been streaming. The delay gets longer and longer. So I apologize if you've come by and said hi, and I don't respond to you. It's not that I don't want to respond. I do look up, I do check, and it's not always immediate. Sometimes I might take a minute or so if I'm in the middle of something kind of intense on my work stuff here. Okay, so I'm trying to come up with niche stuff to talk about. What to talk about. And then start editing some of these videos and turn them into actual videos. So you'll see my live streams will have some of the same content that I might eventually have for videos. The videos will of course have things like some pop-up screens for this and some videos for that and whatever. Just so that ultimately, because I gotta go back once I talk about an item, I might cut out some junk, some distractions that I may have had. But ultimately, my goal is to try to stay on topic as much as possible. And one of the things I'm going to start doing is maybe making my painting secondary. So what I mean by secondary is you see the video here. I might turn it into a small screen. And then you just get to see me talking. Talking, sometimes right to you in your face. Yeah, but it's coming up with topics. Okay, so I'm all over the place. I kind of look around. I gotta go someplace, find something that says, "Hey, I have an opinion on this." So here's the idea. My topics are going to generally be something along the lines of comics. I don't know a lot about comics, but I probably try to find some stuff out and make a discussion about it. What do I think of X, Y, Z? If I read a particular thing, what is my interest on that? And if you care, then great. If not, then, well, it's up to you. I don't have any opinions. I will do videos and things about games and other things that I like, and things that I don't, or things that I liked and don't like anymore, because stuff. And I'll explain why. That could be video games, it could be board games, it could just be something. And some people would have different streams for all that stuff. Nope, not this guy. This guy, not going to have different streams for that stuff. So what I might do, I do have two different streams. I have streams for, what do you call it, working out and gaming. Those are my two streams right now. And both of them are intended to help my product, which doesn't which exists only in part. Okay, so originally I came out with, I'm going to turn this down or mute it or whatever while I talk. Okay, so maybe I'll do that with my workouts too. I got to come up with things, and basically what I'll do is I'll just randomize. I'll just chat. And in the live, all you're going to see is a chat. You won't see the finished product. But ultimately, I'll have to say, okay, this is what I'm going to talk about. This is what I'm going to do. So my chats may only be 10, 15, 20 minutes, and then it'll stop. And my live might keep going. Maybe I'll do a second chat, do something new, and just say blah 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 blah, and I'll just change topics. But ultimately, I'll chop it up, chop it at the point at which it stops, and then I will I'll probably do something stupid like bam. What that'll do is it'll allow me to see exactly where I change topics on my my video editor. So if I do something goofy like make a loud noise, just go, oh, I guess we're changing topics. It won't be so loud that you won't be able to, but it'll be loud enough that the video stream will spike on the audio, and then go, okay, cut it there and change topics. So that's the plan. So and my goal is to keep them short. I know people don't like long videos. They don't stick around for long videos. They don't talk about long, they don't want to see long videos, and I don't want to edit long videos. So if I chop it up at 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 20 minutes, I can chop it, and then I'm able to move on to something else, changing the topic list. So a lot of it's going to be just opinion. So hey, do I look like a guy you want the opinion of? Probably not. But some people just want to get feedback. They're just looking to see if I match them, or maybe just trying to find. Okay, so here's what I have found, and this is me personally. You ever go buy anything on Amazon.com and then go, I don't know if this is going to be good. I mean, I know it's 4.5 stars, but let's go check out the reviews. And then you go look for all the bad reviews. There's 4.5 stars, so that means, what is that? 90 out of 100. 90 out of 100 reviews. 90 out of every 100 reviews is positive, and I'm looking for the 10. And that's because it doesn't do me any good, the good reviews, right? They're the ones that are saying all the good stuff. 5s don't tell me anything. It's like, oh, it does all these things. It's good. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I already know what I'm looking for, and it says right there what it does. So I'd rather look. So to me, it's like, well, what's the problem? Why are there 10 people who say no out of every 100? There could be 50, but that would mean there's 5,000 reviews or whatever. Or 500 reviews. So I would go on there and look at the bad reviews. Okay, so this is my suggestion. Read the bad reviews. If you don't do it already, which I think most people probably do. I think people lean that way because you also got to know the difference between what a bad review that's useful and a bad review of anything. This is anything. I'm on Amazon.com. It could be anywhere. But anytime you're reading reviews, there's bad reviews that are useful, and then there are bad reviews that aren't. Okay. Example. Shipping. You go onto Amazon, and you get mad at the shipping for the product showing up late. Okay, so you say, all right, I'm giving it 1 star. It didn't show up for 3 weeks after I ordered it. But everybody else is saying it's good. And somebody else goes, yeah, I ordered it and it took 2 weeks to ship it. And I ordered it and it took 3 weeks to ship it. Or I had to return it because it was not what I expected and they charged me to ship it back. Okay, not what I expected is not broken. Not what I expected is, I bought this thing to do X, but it actually does Y. And that's just because they either didn't, and oftentimes it's because they didn't read it or they didn't understand how it works. And trust me, that's possible. I've bought things that are like that don't do what I thought they would do. Like I may have misread how the description was, and that's on me. Um, and sometimes they charge you to send those kind of things back. That's Amazon's policy because you kind of made the mistake, right? The item is broken. It's not broken. It works fine. It does exactly what it says it's going to do, and you just misunderstood what it did. And I've had to pay to send it back. And Amazon knows this trick. Always say it's broken. I guarantee you Amazon knows that. Not everybody knows that. And it's not exactly the most honest thing. There's other things. If you can't truly prove that it's broken, you can't say something that comes off as broken, or your understanding of it is not broken, then you probably shouldn't do it because it's not honest. But you can manipulate, it doesn't work as expected kind of thing. And your expectations may have been wrong, but it still shows up as not working. And Amazon will pay for broken or no, they won't charge you for those. But if you simply say something like, they give you a bunch of options on there, why are you returning it? And there's a couple of them on there that'll be free shipping, and then there's a bunch of other ones. It's something like, I bought this thing and yeah, I don't like it. Or I bought two by mistake. It's not Amazon's fault. It's your mistake. So they would charge you properly. So anyway, it's that kind of thing. Amazon, they don't want to pay for people being goofy, and I understand that. So you kind of have to decide what's important to you. And so anyway, that's why I'm saying there are things but that doesn't make any to me means nothing on an item review. If all people do is complain about the shipping, what that means is you might want to order it and expect that it's going to show up late. Even if it says Prime. So here's the thing. Amazon gives companies ways to offer Prime shipping. Okay? And there are requirements involved to be able to be a Prime shipping shipper. And so where you can say, Prime shipping allowed. And I forgot what they were. I had stuff on Amazon at one time, and they had those options. I never did the Prime shipping because there's like extra fees, and it's not an ideal it's not an ideal thing. So I am not a fan of as a seller. You don't see what I'm doing. Pretend like you don't see this. This is me messing around with my mic and trying to relocate it so I can look at the camera, and you get to watch me in my 4 eyes, my magnification 4 eyes, getting on the camera. Okay, so shipping doesn't matter to me. It just tells me plan for delays, and what it means is if somebody says they're Prime and it takes really long, the rule really is that they have to ship it, I think, within a certain amount of time. Now, assuming that they keep up and they're doing that, and if it takes weeks to show up, not everything is 2-day Prime. Because 2-day delivery means they're going to give it to you, you're going to get it free if you have Prime. What that means is the rules are like they have to get it shipped within X amount of time, but if they're in China, they might get it shipped, but it still takes a month to get to you for whatever reason. So there's processing things that they can work around the Prime. So what you've got to be careful there is it coming straight from an affiliate, which is what I was. I wasn't actually it wasn't Amazon shipping this stuff for me. It was me shipping it, and I just used Amazon. But I didn't use Prime. I didn't do that. You have like a certain amount of time, I think 24 hours, 48 hours, to ship it, even if you don't do Prime. But you don't have to get it there in 2 days. You don't have to ship it faster, pay more to get it to them. You just pay whatever the customer paid or whatever shipping that they asked for. So yeah, that's why I say shipping doesn't matter to me. but it does to some. If it matters to you, then whatever. But that's why I say look at the negatives, because that kind of thing doesn't say that the product's bad. It just says it might take a while to get there. Now, for me, if I look at it and go, oh, it showed up and it was ripped, and a bunch of people are saying, yeah, this product was torn at the seams, it was falling apart, it means they've got some quality control issues. Even if everybody else is saying it's good, you're taking a 10% chance, a 5% chance, because a 4.5 out of 5 stars, and all the people aren't. That's saying, you know, you've got a 90 out of 100, and that's saying that you got a 10% chance of getting crap, getting something broken or ripped, or maybe those. And sometimes the people who are really liking it just haven't broken that seam yet. Maybe they're using really weak threads, but somehow they got it on there good, and they went and said, "Ooh, this is awesome! It looks great," and then they don't go back and actually say, because a lot of people. What was that? That was weird. Oh, okay. I was helping with work, and I have a conversation going in the background, and they're chatting. They're talking about the deployment they're doing. Hopefully, they won't ask me to join them, because I already did my part. But I'm gonna lighten his eyes. Okay, so yeah, there you go. There's my suggestion. Use that. Use the Amazon negative. Follow the negative reviews, and that's kind of what I go by. You're not going to get a lot of love from me unless it's specifically to go against some hate. And same goes. You're not going to always get necessarily a lot of hate from me. I will go against hate. Like for example. Okay, here's one thing that how bad. The question is. The question is, how bad is Diablo 4? I see these coming up all the time. All these, it's clickbait, right? How bad is Diablo 4? And it was like, oh my gosh, what is wrong with Diablo 4? And people are looking at it and they're going, oh, I don't want to buy that game because it's got all these problems. And okay, the game does cost 70 to 90 bucks depending on if you get it with the pass, and I don't know how that's passes of what, 10 bucks a month or 10 bucks per season. I think that's what it was. It might be 20. I think it's 10. But and all you really get for it, the biggest thing you're going to get for playing a season is you can play in it even if you don't pay. You're free. Your purchase of the original software will let you play in the season. You just won't be able to really get some stuff, right? So you won't be able to get all the cool stuff. And that's just what it's about, right? All the cool stuff. You might be able to get some cool stuff. I'm going. Okay, so I do want to talk a little bit about. Diablo 4, and I kind of brought this up before. Hey Zomcob, how you doing, man? I just I'm doing all right. I'm not going to be on terribly long. I'm sorry, my my chat doesn't tell me what time you texted, so I'm sorry if this has been a while. It could have been 10 minutes. It could have been. I had my video, my chat box covered. So I apologize. It's probably been a few minutes since I last checked my chat. So. So yeah, I want to talk a little bit about Diablo 4. If you play Diablo 4, if you haven't played Diablo 4, first let me say, when you start the game, most people who start the game are going to say Diablo 4 is cool, right? I'm saying it. Most people will come in and say, I don't see what all the problems are. What is everybody's hate for Diablo 4? They're just, it's basically it. You're going to be wondering what they're talking about, because it is fun. It is cool. You get to build a lot. You get to do a lot. But here's it is. Here's the hate. I'll tell you right now. Here it comes. There's not enough content. Yeah, I know. I said it. Not enough content. This is what's killing everybody, I think. I'll tell you. And the reason for that is I think people, they're directing their hate wrong. I mean, yes, there are things that people don't like, and I think some people are just lazy. And I'll get you to that later. And so I'm not going to agree with those people who say, oh, it's like I have to walk to the dungeons. I'm not going to get into that right now. But you don't have to walk to dungeons anymore because they guilted the devs into making that stop. So they don't have to do that anymore. So yay, you got your way. But what you do have to do is there's a couple of things. Is you have to be willing. Once you beat the game, once you beat the storyline, and that's my definition of beating the game. You beat the game when the storyline is over, and so therefore you're going to be at a situation. You're going to run into a situation where the next step, once you've beaten the game, is you have to go through, and then it's just doing stuff, random stuff, maybe doing some random missions, just doing stuff to just try to get some new gear. So that at the end there is one last thing, which really I don't even think it's storyline. It's just this one last dungeon you can go to at level 100, and you get to fight Lilith. And she's like the big boss. You get to fight her again, because once you beat the storyline, you get to fight with her too. But you get to fight her, and she's uber, and she's supposed to be really tough and challenging, and I feel like she is not a worthy goal. Simply put, she's not a worthy goal. You're going to go after her. You're going to spend 50-ish levels, depending on how fast you beat the game. You're going to spend 50-ish levels trying to level your guy up, get more gear, get better, get harder, fighting some of the same stuff over and over and over again. You're going to do what they call, dungeon hacking or something like that. I don't know, whatever it is. You're going through and you're just fighting the same stuff over and over again, trying to mine better gear so that you can get stronger and go to the next level, the next level, next level, next level, next level. 25 levels later, 30 levels, 40 levels, 45, 50 levels, you're going to eventually get to the end of the game, and you're going to get a chance to go fight Lilith. Now, you can fight her sooner, but you're probably going to lose. I mean, from my understanding. Everything kind of waits, but she kind of waits at 100, so she's pretty tough. So, keep in mind, that's the whole goal of the game. That's it. You're going to try to get to the end and beat Lilith, and it's not worth it. I'm telling you, it's not worth it. I got to like level 70 something, maybe close to 80, and I ran out of juice. I did. I ran out of juice. I like the game. If I play, I will play it more, but the thing is, I'm probably only gonna play it. I'm probably only going to play it to start a new character or play a new character. I just can't stomach the constant repeating. And there are things you can do. Now, people complained about renown on Diablo and all of the stuff you have to do to build up your renown and get all these extra little bits and stuff. That stuff's cool. I don't mind it, but I don't want to repeat it. I'm not going to do it over and over and over and over again. And that was another complaint. It's like once you start the game over, your renown kind of resets, about 80% of it, and you have to go through again. So They might change that. People complain enough. Devs do stuff. Who knows? But it's like, why? The thing is, they're taking away the game, right? And then they're just giving you the pieces, the repeatable stuff. And it's like, I don't want to repeat. See, here's why, in comparison, Diablo 4 versus Baldur's Gate 3, um, why Baldur's Gate is so much more popular right now and why it's so great. Now, I'm not even talking about the microtransactions. That's one of the things, obviously, because Baldur's Gate doesn't have that. The problem is that Baldur's Gate 3 has a story that takes you to the end of the game. It goes all the way to the end of the game. And then you're done. And then you play again. You can play again, pick new characters, do whatever. But your characters, I don't believe there's anything for your characters to do once you beat the game, unless it's to go finish some side quests or something. Maybe that stuff still exists. I don't know. Maybe you can go finish that if you choose. I don't know. I haven't gotten to the end of the game, so I'm not going to say for sure. But generally, the game goes until it's over. You can get to level 12 or so in the game. That's it. You're not gonna. It's not about leveling to 100. You're gonna try to find better items. I don't know how good stuff can be, but eventually, I'd imagine you can do some things and make some stuff better, and you'll get money and be able to buy stuff. I don't know. There's some cool stuff you can do with certain items and interesting objects, but all to try to make it fun. So they do a lot of these things, and that's what makes Baldur's Gate, I think, so popular. Why everybody really likes Baldur's Gate, because it has what people want without the fees and without the redundancy, the constantly doing things over and over and over and over again, which I think is what's killing people. Diablo 4. People think that they like that, the rinse and repeat dungeon hacking. But it's funny how they complain about that and they go back to the same dungeons over and over again and they just repeat it. There's other ways to do it, but they want to do the most efficient, the min-maxing guys. And the problem with that is you're
do you remember, Mahendra, what Knish mentioned last time?
when you do dungeon hacking like that, you are getting bored. Your brain is going, why am I doing this over and over and over again? And you're doing it because I gotta get this item, and so you just do the same thing. You pummel through and you keep going and you keep going. You're like, do you really need that item? That's the question we're asking here.
The web server nodes have
The answer is probably not, because if you start asking yourself why are you doing something, the odds are you probably don't need to be doing it. Probably don't want to be doing it. It's like with a job, right? If you don't like your job and you're finding yourself regretting going into your job every day, then it may very well be time to find a new job. If you can. So yeah, that's what I think. That's it. That's it in a nutshell. That's it, man. That's my my statements on Diablo 4. It's just got
No, I'm able to impersonate the employer portal.
are you alright?
it's just got those problems that are.
No, but in production,
Yeah.
can you check and get an error? So I was a little bit worried.
Okay.
And you don't want to have to repeat. And Baldur's Gate doesn't make you repeat. Now there are times when you have to go back and forth to town, but it's to do stuff. It's to progress your guy. You go back simply to buy more gear and say, all right, I've earned some gear, I complete some quests, and now there's more to do, and I move on. And the game keeps allowing you to progress forward in the storyline, and you actually have new things to do, and that's what makes the game good. And actually, to be honest, Diablo 4 and its renown system would probably have been better if they had just made all those little micro quests somehow put them in your way. Okay, Baldur's Gate, you can skip a lot of the quests there too and just rush through it. You might even find yourself having extra challenge if you like challenge, simply because you're not going to level as much, right? You're going to just plow through. So, yeah. Anyway, Baldur's Gate's problem is there's just nothing to do past the game. And I think if they had stopped at level 50, but here's what they did. Diablo 3, they did that. They basically, go to the end of the story, and then when you go to the harder levels, it's the same story, but now it's more challenging. It's like almost like a different story. But you get to go through it all again, and now you get to see how tough is the next guy going to be. I have to go through him. Oh, these guys are really hard. I have to go through them. And then you beat it, and you're like, yeah. Oh, let's see what the next one is. How tough are those guys going to be? But that's not the same in Diablo 4. Diablo 4 is like, well, you beat the story. Go to the harder level, and you got just harder guys. Same guys, but you don't have anywhere to go. I mean, you can go try to do some stories or go to some dungeons, and you just pick, you're lost. You don't know what you're going to do. You're just going to the next thing. And that is why I think Diablo 4 is struggling to to keep people. And so I could be wrong. Some people are like, hey, I like that stuff. Well, maybe, but I don't think people like it as much as they try to make people think. Hack and slash is fun if there's a purpose in it, and I think the problem is Diablo 4 does not give you a purpose, enough purpose, to keep hacking and slashing. And in Baldur's Gate, well, it's not a hack and slash. In fact, you're not even guaranteed. You're not always. You can actually. You can actually accomplish things in Baldur's Gate without even fighting. You can get through guys if you. In fact, sometimes it's a good idea to try not to get in a fight, unless your guy is just dead set on beating everything up, which does you can take that tact, but sometimes it would just behoove you not to be such a troublemaker. Uh-oh, wait. Hopefully you didn't hear that. That was the. So yeah, okay. I'm past my bedtime. Telling you right now, I should not be up. I don't know, where'd you go, Zomcob? I said hi, but you didn't respond, man. What's the latest? What are you up to? I've seen you around. You've stopped by a few times in the last, in my streams recently. Appreciate it. But Usually you have more to say. Oh yeah? What kind? Are they just random models, like a bunch of Reapers, or are they like? Are you looking at Etsy and just looking to shop for some? Are you looking for Mech Warrior, Warhammer? What kind of stuff are you looking at, man? Oh, work in progress stuff, huh? Yeah, that's what this guy was. He was a guy I painted a bunch of, but never finished him, and he was part of my D&D party. He's a NPC that's being played by one of the other characters because he ended up tagging along, and now now he's full on party member, at least for the moment. I don't know if he's going to stick around. He may have his end coming, because depending on what they do. Not end like dying, or at least not the plan anyway. Um, but there is the whole D&D doesn't really resurrect people easily unless you're pretty high level. So hopefully he won't die. He's actually been really resilient though. This guy's got some abilities that actually make him very difficult to kill. And as a DM, I'm like, well, it's okay. Which is good, I guess, because his storyline, although kind of over, doesn't have to be. He doesn't get too involved in what they're doing most of the time. Sometimes I'll have him do something that matters, but. Oh yeah, what kind of matte brush? You getting yourself some sable brushes, or are you just ordering some other things? This one, the one I'm using, which I've been using for a long time. If you keep them at the end of every thing, you soap them up and rinse them off and get them nice and clean. It'll last a while. I've actually had this guy lasting me now for many, many moons. I think I've had it for over a year, and it's doing a good job. So, and I think I even have another one. So if something happens to this poor guy. Size 1. That's what this is. Series 7, size 1, Winsor Newton. Same brush. They're good stuff, man. I have some of the cheapy Citadel brushes. And I say cheapy because they are. They cost a lot less. They use the synthetic tips, and the synthetic tips are fine for short periods, but when they start to go, you can't recondition them. There's no conditioning them with. Once they start to go, they're kind of done. So they last pretty good, I guess. They'll hold their shape for a while, but not like these ones. Like if you take care of these can last a while. I did get me finally a Series 7. I think I have a size. Is it a size 2 brush? There's some people online. It's like I've seen some people painting, and they paint with like a size 2 exclusively. See, what's this? Is that this one? Yeah, this is a 2 right here. And it's a big brush, and it holds a lot of fluid, and it stays wet nicely. but it's just not fine enough for me. Of course, granted, I don't paint a lot of big minis, and I think if you paint a lot of big minis, maybe, but I have a hard time.
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
can open that
precise
settings.
enough. Some people can get a. I've seen some of the series too, and they'll have a pretty nice tip on them, and you can do pretty fine work. But
Exactly.
if you need to get into a
Open
tight
that and
spot,
you
I don't know how they use
see.
those. But I've seen guys that use it too, and that's all they use, and they're just in there touching stuff, and I'm like, wow.
Okay, this is the
I,
one.
as I say, I'm impressed by some of these painters out
Now
there.
it's
They
there.
are true talent.
Oh, we're sharing, yeah. So, when you scroll down, I thought that's the same. How can you see the same way that you saw the other one? Refer. Yeah, like this, yeah.
I've been looking into maybe trying not using a magnifying lens and just using a lens that fits right over my thing, but then that blocks it out for the camera, and I don't know if that's any better to me, because then you're like stuck in a position. I mean, I guess if I stuck it like right up here and tried to paint behind it, but it would be I feel crowded. So I already feel like I have too much stuff on my desk.
So, so is that the same thing that you we have the
Make
other
brushes,
right?
huh? Yeah, like I say, they hold for a little while, but the thing is, you just can't recondition a synthetic. So no matter what happens, if
I think
no matter how long
this
it
is
lasts,
okay.
once it goes, it goes.
Yeah, this is okay now because we saw that that is clear,
There's
but
no coming back.
number five.
At least that's been my experience.
Uh, yeah, I'm not sure what's this one.
Sometimes you can recondition these ones if they get out of whack a little bit, and you get some soap on them, and then kind of get a decent
Let's go back to this,
get a
or go
decent.
back to
You leave the soap on them overnight. I mean, you rinse them off really good, get them cleaned out. Leave the soap on them overnight or until they fully dry, until it like stiffens into a frozen perfect tip, and then you just rinse off the soap really good,
so cut out
and
the best
they
one.
kind of just they're back. It's kind of like it reshapes them.
Yeah,
Somebody it was like this guy even I think was fraying at one point. I'm like, is there a way to fix these? And I tried it out, and it's like, by golly, it worked. I'm like shocked. There's not much more I can do with this guy, to be honest. I think I wanted to do some extra things. He's got like weights on his whip, or what looks like weights, and I wanted to maybe turn those into something a little bit more solid. But I think he's looking pretty good for the most part. I feel like there's something I could do with the red to make it feel a little bit more sharp, but I haven't figured that out yet. It feels not not sharp. So yeah, I'm a little unsure what to do with the bottom with this kilt. I have not figured out the kilt solution. What time is it? Is it running? Oh my gosh, it's 9:11,
speed
11:20. I'm gonna have to call it.
still recent race. Finish
But
off.
so yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna try to start doing some topics that I'm gonna try to edit and turn some of these videos into actual videos. Like the long-term save kind, where I'll go back through and grab those, and it's gonna be like a paint and paint and chat, paint discussion. And it's not always a discussion because I don't always have a lot of people to talk to, but that's fine. I'm okay with that. Live streams aren't
It
real.
was clear to
I
me.
mean, I don't mind people coming and talking. That's why I do this. So, thanks for coming, Zonkov. But yeah, it just gives
It's
me
gonna be
something to talk
nice
about. And if I get to
to
talk
go
with somebody
last
about it, even
race
better.
instead of
We'll
last
banter a bit
race.
about it when I do. Uh,
Last time.
you know, compare opinions. But it'll also give me something to have my
Wait, this.
videos have a purpose in being edited. Just doing what I'm doing, painting here, it's a little abstract, or I'm scatter focused, and I have junk in there. So if I don't have something I'm focused on and talking, they don't have any real carry through unless somebody just wants to watch me paint for an hour, 20 minutes, whatever. But anyway, Zomcop, thanks for stopping by. I will probably be online again tomorrow. My wife works weekends now for the next 6 weeks, so we won't be doing a ton together. So I'll have some free time to just do whatever. Tomorrow I will be working out. I don't know that I'll be streaming because I haven't been streaming my workouts lately because I just really don't know what to do there yet. I haven't decided how to take advantage of my workout streams in a way that's useful some way. Something niche. Find my niche. But anyway, hey, send me some of your videos, or at least snapshots, Zomcop. Put them on my Discord. I'll take a look and let you know what I think. I mean, I won't tell you that they're bad. I'm not going to give you a review, unless you want one. I'll give you a review if you want one. But otherwise, just let me know. I'm curious to see what kind of stuff you paint. Take it easy. Till next time. Take it easy.